Okay, so on Friday, October 30th, I went to the Fifth Avenue Apple Store, and even though I had pre-ordered the Apple TV, I knew it would be in stock from various blogs, and I checked the store's website, and I could see that they had it. So I went in the morning, and you could see in the video here, they're stocked there, the brand new Apple TVs, and also the brand new remote is there. And so I ended up getting it. And one of the reasons I wanted to get it is because if I pay for it in store with my Apple Pay and Discover card, I get a 10% cashback discount, which is then doubled by Discover at the end of the year. And there you can see I paid it. And here's my exit from the store. Here I am about to unbox it. And the box is, rather small for the new Apple TV. You'll see the Apple TV is just a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier. It's very neatly packaged. Basically, you've got the Apple TV there, and on the right side in the box you can see the new remote, which is highly anticipated and has like a touch surface and Siri built into it. And underneath, I like how they pack it. They pack this Apple TV with all sorts of plastic around it, make it very protected. And the same with the remote. They treat it like it's, something precious. The reality is you're going to end up using it, and maybe, I don't know if you're going to scratch it up, but it's, the thing is when you take it out, it's surprisingly light. I was shocked by how light it is. Now, right underneath where the Apple TV is, there is a little instruction kit, and the beauty is they also give you a lightning cable. So it seems like with all these new accessories, like the Apple TV and the new Magic Keyboard and the new Magic Trackpad and new Magic Mice, they're bundling lightning cables. And that's good because, Apple sells the lightning cable for, $20 or $30. And so here you have this nice lightning cable, which you can use to charge the Apple TV. So, and there's the power cord for the Apple TV. Well, I'm not sure what the lightning cable is for. So the power cord, I like it because it doesn't have a big block at the back of it. And, that's pretty much it for the packaging. There's really just like those 3 items and actually 4 items and the packaging. And, like I said, it's really well wrapped in plastic. In addition to the clear plastic, you've got these sort of dark plastic that covers up the black Apple logo. So they're very careful not to scratch that up. I mean, it's in a well-packed box, but yet I was very impressed they put that additional plastic, black plastic. And the same with the ports here. The ports are covered up with this black tape that's over it. And so in addition to the clear tape, so you've got like multiple layers of tape wrapping this Apple TV. And, I guess just Apple just really wants you to have this beautiful thing that comes out of the box. So they're taking ridiculous care in packing it. I mean, I thought to some extent it was overkill. And there you see the ports. You've got an Ethernet port. You've got a HDMI port, the power port, and you've got the USB cable port there. And so that's pretty cool. And, it comes with, well, here I am now setting it up. I hooked it up actually to a Dell monitor just to set it up. And, it right away, it pairs with the new Apple TV remote, which is, my first reaction was that it's a lot lighter than I thought it would be. And, the key things are you got a menu button, you've got a Siri button, you've got fast forward and pause, you've got this Windows button, and you've got the audio up and down button, which is pretty cool because it works with regular monitors. And so you pick your language at the beginning, and that's what I'm doing here. You can see. Okay, so one of the cool things with the Apple TV is it looks like when you use the remote, it'll turn on the TV and put the HDMI port for the TV to Apple TV, which is great because before I would have to hunt around. So look, I've launched the Apple TV, and it
put on the TV, and you can also, you can control the volume. I didn't do anything. Now there is a method if it's not working to pair it in the settings, but I didn't do anything. It works with my Samsung LCD, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so one of the other cool things that I think I just mentioned is that, let's say you're watching through one of the HDMI ports your cable TV, but if I press the remote and pick menu, it will launch the Apple TV. Let's see. There we go. And look, it switches to the port, which I think is really, really cool. So look at this. Now, what would be great is if this remote could also control, like be a universal remote and somehow control your TV and cable channel, like here I have a Fios box. So this is very cool. I mean, I don't think the prior Apple TV would do that, where like I can start the TV and it'll go straight to the Apple TV. Or if I want to switch, I don't have to go and change the HDMI port. It'll just automatically make the TV switch to the HDMI port for the Apple TV. Okay, so in terms of navigating with this new remote, basically you have like a trackpad up here, and you can swipe left and right. And as you can see, as I do that, I can go down. And so the new interface, basically, you have whatever you select is highlighted on top. So in the top, and there are these rows underneath that you can go down to. So the top row is sort of like the menu area. So you got movies, TV shows, App Store. That's the big new thing where you can download app, photos, and then music. And you go down, and just like iOS devices, you've got a menu button, and that just takes you back. Actually, if you double-click the menu bar, it goes into the screensaver. And there are these cool sort of movie-like screensavers that are sort of downloaded when you first set up, and you can set a setting to download every week, so there'll be new ones coming. And then you press the menu to get out, and then this other button, it's got like the picture indication, and I'm not sure what it does. It does stuff when you're in something. It allows you to go to sort of the windows. So let's go, let's go to the apps. So the most exciting thing, I think, is this App Store. And so basically this top part, it clicks when you press down on it. So if let's see if I can scroll. Oh, I have it up. One of the problems, I think, with this remote is that it's symmetrical. So sometimes you forget which direction you're holding it. So only one side has this touchpad. You can swipe left with your thumb and up and down. But then when you select something, it clicks down. So there's this layer. Now, what's very cool is if you log in, you can see your purchased apps. And I was in for a big surprise, which is some of my previously purchased iOS apps, like for the iPhone and the iPad, have already been adapted for the Apple TV, and I didn't have to pay anything for them. They were already, because I already purchased them on iOS, the developer made it so that I could use them. For example, Jetpack Joyride, I had already purchased, so even though it costs something if you've never purchased it on the Apple TV, I could download it. Similarly, another, let's see, where is it? Alto's, well, Hit Tennis, for example, that's that's working on the Apple TV, and I already purchased it, so I could download. Oh, and Alto's Adventure. This was a great and beautiful game for the iPhone and the iPad, and since I already purchased it, it was a free download. So, I think this is going to be a game changer, the App Store, because. And also, I think anybody who's making games for iPhone and iPad should make a universal app that also works for free on the Apple TV. It'll give you an edge in creating games for, for this platform, the Apple platform. Because if I was a kid and I saw a game also worked on the Apple TV as well as the iPhone and iPad, I'd go for it over some other game because it's a better value. So. Anyway, so these are, and then there's a featured area, and you can search. Now, one thing that kind of annoys me, searching is still, you know, typing. Let me go back up. You got to swipe, and then select the letters. Now, there is a Siri button here, and let's say search for Alto's. So the search isn't in the store, and I don't think it's in the store, and that's a problem because I hate this picking letters and, you know, one by one. If I pick F, and then it automatically finds like apps with F. If I put like an O afterwards, it narrows it down to apps that are FO, for example, Fox News. And this is what the old method was too. And I don't think you can search the App Store with Siri, but they should make it work with Siri. So let's go back out. So the other big feature in addition to the App Store is that Siri is built into this. So what you have to do is there's a button with Siri on it, and you have to hold down, and while you don't just press once and launch it, you have to hold down while you talk. So I'm going to say, what is the weather? Siri, what is the weather? And there it gives like a pop-up, but it can also search among apps. So I have Netflix, downloaded. So I'm going to say, I'm going to make a search in Netflix. Siri, in Netflix, show me a good children's movie. Okay, so it's not smart enough to find that, but if I say a specific one, it might find it. Siri, in Netflix, find James Bond movies. Okay, so the result is I couldn't find anything available on Netflix, but here are some movies you can watch from other sources. So it looks there and then doesn't find James Bond in Netflix. You know, Netflix's library is not as good as it used to be. But then it shows me that it can find it other places, Skyfall. So if I click that, it's going to be the iTunes store, you know, where I'd have to purchase it. But the big advantage here is that, you know, the more apps you have downloaded, the Siri will be able to sort of index it. Let's go back. So here are the apps so far that I have downloaded. Now, what's interesting of some of the previously downloaded apps from my iPhone that were available for free on Apple TV was Speed Test, which is the the testing connection to the internet app, and you could see it's working here, and it's going to give a result. And let's see what it is. Oh, I have to press go. So there we go. It's connecting, and let's look at. I have it connected by Wi-Fi to my Fios router. And I'm getting decent speeds. I'm getting like 20 down. Actually, my internet provider, Fios, provides me with 50 down and 50 up. So previously I got a faster score. I could also hook it up by Ethernet. Right now it's hooked up by Wi-Fi, and the upload speed is pretty good. It's 30. So anyway, but this is the beauty of having apps. It's like a computer, but a computer that's cheaper than a regular computer. It's you can get it for, I think, what, $150 or just under $200. Now, I got, you can get it in 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes. I got the 64 because these apps do take up space. Like you can go into the settings and see how much each app takes up. And some of the games are taking up like 200 megabytes. And so if you have a lot of games downloaded, it could be pretty, take up a lot of space. Now, my son and I started monkeying around with different games, and one of them is Alto's Adventure. So I'm just going to show you what it's like. So with Alto's Adventure, he was better at it. You know, this is a sort of skiing. So in this game, if I click, it makes the skier jump up. And I think it's pretty much clicking. I'm not sure to what extent swiping does anything. And then you get points. Okay, play again. My son's much better at this. Okay, so another game that I actually bought for the Apple TV that is supposed to be a more in-depth gaming experience is Geometry Wars. I think it might have been as much as $10, but it's sort of, I think 9 to 5 Mac sort of recommended it as a very good game. So basically, you've got more of controls here. So basically, you have more controls here. So let's get. All right, so I'm at. Okay, it says here, use the touch surface to control movement of your ship. All right, close. So I can move the ship around like this, and then to shoot. Okay, but I want to go to these, like, I don't know, these red things, and then I get stuff, and then I swipe to go over there. I go through some sort of time warp, and then. So anyway, so basically it's swiping and then pressing is the main sort of swiping and pressing is the main way to play this game. I think you can also shoot by pressing down. All right, when I press this Windows thing, it takes me back up. If I click again, it takes me back in. So I can, anyways, it's, look, it's a, all right, so I'm out of that game. Anyway, so this is my first look at the Apple TV, and I'm very excited about it. I think this is a much better controller than we had before. I like the fact that you can charge it with the Lightning port. It's very light. You know, the whole device clicks when you click on it, and I just think this is going to really make the Apple TV a much better device for the TV than the previous Apple TVs. I mean, the big advantages here are you can buy apps or download free apps, play games, and you've got Siri integration that's going to have universal search across. And so I think developers, you have such a huge iOS ecosystem, I think developers are going to flock to this, and you're going to see all sorts of very creative content apps and game apps. So, overall, I'm very pleased with this new product from Apple.